Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have sent a letter to President Donald Trump calling for a bipartisan meeting to end the GOP shutdown of the federal government and decisively tackle the Republican healthcare crisis. I called it. I called it. I called it. I told you guys that they were going to come to an agreement right after the election. Tuesday election. The question is why they waited so long. Why they waited after the election and not before the election. And it's so crazy that people actually went for Zorwan knowing that his group shut down the gov. 40-something million didn't receive their benefits. It just mind-blowing that people still went for the left, knowing that their SNAP EBT was shut down because of them. Mind-blowing. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. It's just insane. I'm trying to figure out the minds of New Yorkers out there. Many of you didn't receive that benefit, but you still went for someone that his group shut down the benefits. It just I don't know what's going on with their minds. It's just mind-blowing. So November 5th, 2025, all right, so Congress of the United States, House of Representatives is sending this letter. Dear President Trump, we write to demand a bipartisan meeting of legislative leaders to end the GOP shutdown of the federal gov and decisively address the Republican healthcare crisis. Democrats stand ready to meet with you face-to-face anytime and any place. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. You know why they waited after the election? Because they got new seats. They have new seats. A lot of Democrats won last night. Many Democrats, they won last night. And so they have more seats. You can't play politics with people's lives. And you heard me said that many times. And I told you guys that this was going to happen right after the election, because they won a lot of seats. So there's going to be a lot of changes now to this bill. There's going to be a lot of shifting going on here. All right, so there's new people now in these position of power. All right, so fresh from the party's victories in off-year elections across the map, top congressional Democrats are insisting on a meeting with President Donald Trump to discuss the shutdown. Now, we write to demand a bipartisan meeting of legislative leaders to end the GOP shutdown of the federal government and decisively address the Republican health care crisis. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries wrote Wednesday in a letter to Trump. Guys, politics is like a game of chess. You have to understand what their next move is and what, their next move is and their plans. All right, so they're not honest. Put it like that. They are not honest. All right, they're not. And it's just a messed up game. And one thing I tell you, I don't agree with Mike Pence, but when he said you can't play politics with people's lives, that stuck with me. And I'm like, yeah. Now that right there is the truth. So again, people voted for Zorwan, New Yorkers. Good luck. I mean, that's all I got to say. Good luck. Man, that rotten apple, now you're going to see maggots coming out of it. In addition to Trump, the left want Senator Majority Leader John and House Speaker Mike Johnson to participate. Yeah, right after the election, huh? So top left have been asking for such a meeting for months and got one just before the shutdown started more than a month ago. Now the left stands ready to meet with you face-to-face anytime at any place, Schumer and Jeffries said Wednesday. Donald Trump should ask them the question, Why after the election? Why? Were you guys waiting for something? You guys got some seats. Now you want to play games? Now you want to negotiate? So the White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The letter comes as Democrats are facing their own internal divisions over how to end the record breaking funding lapse, or if it's even the right time to stand down without extracting more policy concession from the GOP. Now, roughly a dozen Senate Democrats are viewed as ready to end the shutdown and turn the party's focus towards hammering Republicans over health care ahead of a vote to extend expiring Affordable Care Act subsidized following the reopening of the government, according to four people granted anonymity to discuss caucus dynamics. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of the, all these goody stuff, benefits and stuff like that, a lot of illegals is actually on this program, something that Donald is trying to eliminate. All right, they keep saying Donald is trying to take healthcare away from Americans. No, he's trying to take it away from those millions that came into our land. But major win Tuesday night. Here we go. Especially the gubernatorial races in New Jersey and Virginia are giving fresh fuel to calls from the corners of the Senate Democratic caucus for the party to dig in and fight until they get a deal with Republicans on the ACA tax credits. And you guys already know Democrats won last night. It was a Democrat night. They basically won a lot. A lot. I think they swept it. They got everything. So here's another one. So Capitol agenda: Democrats' big wins could prolong the shutdown. I don't think so. I think at this point they just want to reopen it now. Again, I think at this point because they already got what they wanted. Tuesday night they kind of swept everything. They got they got new seats and stuff. Pennsylvania was a big win. California was a big win. New Jersey, Virginia, New York was a big win. So they got all the key players now. So they have new chess players. So I don't think they want to keep with the shutdown. They want to, again, that letter that was sent by Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer basically saying, okay, we done. Let's open it now. So it's officially the longest government shutdown in the U.S. history, and about a dozen Democrats are itching to find a way out. But after Democrats' sweeping victories Tuesday night, their colleagues are waking up this morning and wondering, are we really going to cave now? It says here, the big wins in Virginia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania and elsewhere stand to complicate efforts to reopen the government. It's hard to see most Democrats wanting to temper their momentum immediately after witnessing a massive voter backlash to President Donald Trump and Republicans. Tonight's results are a repudiation of the Trump agenda, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a statement that called it a good night for Democrats and our fight to lower costs, improve health care, and reach a better future for American families. Okay, he failed to mention, again, he said American families, that's great, but he failed to mention another word: illegals, family too, right? Because that's what they do, they take care of them too. So he's not saying that name. And if you see how many people are collecting again, healthcare and stuff like that, EBT, you're gonna be in shock. It's like Elon Musk, right? And Doge, DOD, GE, Doge. They found a whole bunch of crazy old people, 200 years old, collecting Social Security. I mean, There was one person that was older than the US Constitution, 300 something years old, collecting Social Security. I mean, there were over 5 million people from the age of 150 years old to 300 years old. I mean, that's crazy. 5 million, old people like that collecting Social Security. That's mind blowing. So they put an end to that. But EBT, yeah, you're gonna be in shock. What's in there? How many people are collecting? I mean, you're gonna be in shock. Again, healthcare, you're gonna be in shock. Again, that's what Don is trying to do, trying to get rid of all that stuff, that only belongs to us, the American people. It says here the left searching for an exit to the shutdown had their say during a 2-hour plus caucus lunch Tuesday. That ended with grim faces and tight lips. Expect voices like Senator Chris Murphy's to carry weight Wednesday. All right. So guys, the rest I'm just gonna leave in the description box, but you guys get the picture. Democrat, they won big last night. And Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are saying, okay, we done. Can we lift the gov now? Even though Chuck Schumer shut it down 3 days ago. Chuck Schumer literally shut it down. I think it was Monday. He shut it down. But now they want to reopen it. Yep. Right after the Tuesday election. All right, we got the key players. We got new people. Let's reopen the gov. Yeah, playing politics with people's lives. Millions out there getting food at the food banks. You don't do that. You don't do that. But what's so mind-blowing is that the people that is struggling, they went after those. They voted for those. And they put Zara in the spotlight, the same people that actually took away their benefits. Unbelievable. It's just mind-blowing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time later. Peace.